Oh, right, the king of PvP, the king of online cups, the man who is an absolute fucking spectre for the Terrans. He is the big favorite going into this entire tournament. I would expect to see him up against Cure in the grand finals. It is Zest. Zest is best. And they're going for a cheeky fake proxy barracks, looking to get a bit of an overreaction from his opponent. In the top left, it's Percival. Percival! You know, it never occurred to me that Percy is short for Percival. Both are such fucking old-timey, hilarious names. I love it. Does anyone here know anyone who's actually called Percival or Percy? In the chat, let me know. Or maybe your name is Percy. It's just funny because, like, there's certain names that you just, like... It's like I was probably like 14 before I found out that Bob was short for Robert. You know, I just thought some people were just called Bob. I thought that was their name. No one ever fucking told me that Bob and Robert was the same thing. But Percival, I mean, I don't think I've ever known another kid called Percival my age. Percival, of course, is a 19-year-old up-and-coming Terran. Someone in the chat earlier was claiming he was 12 years old. I believe he hasn't cut his hair in 12 years, but no, he's actually 19. He has long, luscious locks. This pro being annoying. Percival's doing what we call being a silly Terran player and not just pulling an SCV to deal with it. So now he has to show the Reaper, which I guess is not the worst thing in the world, but this really doesn't cause any big response from Zest. He's chronoed a Stalker first, gone for a second pylon, a supply early, and a second gas. Little, maybe slightly, ever so slightly delayed, but I doubt it. It's pretty much exactly the same. Command center on location, so he's going to use Widow Mines to cover that. Now, there's no reactor yet, which is a huge bummer with this sort of opening. So keep your eyes on it. I gotta say, this could be a problem. Reaper comes in, Stalker deflects. Still no reactor, man. There we go. Finally starts that up. With these sort of build orders, you are just very light on production. And he pops up in there and says, okay, can't see the tech just yet. It's a Robo first for Zest. Now, Robo first, I mean, that is an old school build. He's still chronoing probes, and it's 3 minutes. So if he drops 2 or 3 extra gateways in the next, at the latest 30 seconds, he could be doing the 4-gate Robo pressure. I mean, he's already got a 3rd Stalker on the way, so he's definitely going to do a 4th Stalker drop. So Zest is actually going back to early Legacy of the Void. His most OG opening that Zest loved doing was getting an early Warp Prism, the Blink No Blink build, and juggling 4 Stalkers around. For this game, though, he's just building an Observer really quickly. Oh, he's just using it for the vision into a 2nd gate. This is such a just conservative build. So he is really thinking this mother trucker might all in me. And I'm going to play mega safe and just, if I see what he's doing, I'll be fine. That's essentially what Zest is doing. He's not going for any of his normal advantages. Blink, Phoenix, DTs, nothing like that. He's literally playing the, as long as you don't surprise me with your stupid bullshit all in, I will win. And that's actually not a bad way of playing. Now, the Observer does not see that medevac coming across with 3 Widow Mines. There is a bunker up at home. He's building tanks, Marines behind us, and with the starport up, Raven or Banshee. Let's find out in a moment. We'll find out in a little bit. It is a Raven behind us, but does drop the Widow Mine, gets shot down. He's gonna have to just leave that in the dead space. Percival, got to be careful, and he'll hold position that medevac there. Got to make sure he doesn't F2. Now, the Observer comes in, seeing the Tech Lab starport. No upgrade on there means Raven, so he's gonna go, and later on, maybe not straight away, but later on, he will siege up his Observer here, and that will be able to see the army moving out. But he's been very consistently sieging up Observers off to the side of the natural. On this map, the choke point's very wide, so he maybe does it a bit further out. We'll see. Either way, Immortal's on the way, Robo Bay, and what is Zest's favorite thing to do, guys? Forge, because he needs attack upgrades. Zest will go +3 attack off of... Oh, he doesn't even have a Twilight yet, does he? Oh, okay. Yeah, this does change the order a bit. Twilight, then Forge. He will go +1, +2, +3 attack. Oh, wow. That medevac actually just took a hit. That's on 48 hit points now. That's very low. And just chilling on out. 3rd Nexus is beyond halfway. It's a pretty quick one. 2nd and 3rd barracks on the way for Percival. So Percival's just going to go for a big old 2-base tanky push, potentially. But only 2 tanks and then going reactor. Which is going to be really good for dealing with Zealots. Now, the problem is 2 tanks can't do that much versus Colossus. To me, it feels like this style, you've got to be really focused on your medevac production and trying to actually get on in there with that. You've got to try to, like, you know, drop them, fight with a Colossus Ant, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, Q does this to Zest on a daily, weekly basis, and Zest is so good at deflecting it. Now, Zest has 4 observers out right now, or Stalker, Observer, Observer, Observer. So with those 3 observers and the Stalker out, because he knows there's a Raven, and that Raven is looking for observers. So apparently he knows that Percival, when he builds a Raven, likes to go observer hunting. Especially because he saw the Robo early, he knows there's no blinks. There's very little risk of this Raven getting caught. He can always just run away if Stalkers catch him. And, oh, here we go. Easy handle there from Zest, who just loses 2 probes. Oh, he loses a Stalker, actually, so, slight miss micro. But that's fine. Gets 2 Widow Mines for it. So, Widow Mine medevac bio production on the way. That Stalker does see the move out. No 3rd command center yet. Stopping at 55 workers is Zest. What's his gate count? He's up on 6 finished gateways. And he's already got 2 Colossi out. 3rd Colossus starting. If he can delay the fight until he has 3 Colossus out and maybe like 15, 20 Zealots, I don't see Percival winning that fight. But Percival's pretty good. He's got good micro, he's got good mechanics. This is still a fierce army to be hitting with at this moment. The hallucination sees him picking up his units though. Oh, did Zest realize? Maybe he didn't. He only caught a glimpse of the edge of that. But look, these units are out in the open, dude. Oh my god, the way Percival's attacking is kind of messy. He loses his Widow Mines almost immediately. The tanks, though, do siege up the double drop plus auto turret in the main. No shield battery in here. Watch out for the force fields. They could trap his Marines, stop them from picking up. As it is, he's just going to pick up and leave. Remember, there's no blink here. So Percival there with a bit of panic micro and does leave his Raven behind. A little bit of a mistake from him. He's going to pull back for now. Remember, no 4th and 5th barracks, no 3rd command center. Percival needs to make a decision on one or the other, and he needs to do it soon. Up to this point, it's just been nothing but non-stop bio production. That's why you can see his army supply outpacing Zest. The problem is, of course, the quality of those armies. Zest's army is simply better. He is down 15 army supply, but 3 Colossi, about to be a 2nd Immortal popping out, and he's also up to 8 gateways now as well. It's going to be a Widow Mine drop on the north of the map, and a double Marine drop on the south. Unfortunately for him, Zealot run by hitting the natural. This is it. Zest is very comfortable defending in this scenario, and that Zealot run by usually nets him 15 to 20 worker kills and wins the game. Let's see if Percival falls victim to the same thing as everything else. Yeah, he's rallied out to the front. He does have 2 tanks, which will help defend, but it seems like these Zealots always come in when the Terran is very light on bio production, and that's exactly the case. No Marines and Marauders building right now. Zealot run by comes in. Widow Mine drop goes behind the minerals, but guess what? The cannon's there. The probes are split. Fantastic multitasking. Both tanks go down, and the 3rd command center looks like it might fall as well. Cute burrow on burrow there. Does get a couple probes with that one, and he will save the command center. So good scramble by Percival to get back on top of that. But this is one of those things against Zest especially, you cannot let up on that bio production. Notice there's no Marines building, and there's big gaps in the barracks. So this is something you kind of want to do. You say, well, I've got map control. Let's go to the next step. Let's go 3rd command center. Let's go armory. Let's go up into 5 barracks production. So it's always that moment when the Terran seems to be powering a little bit, cutting a little bit of production to get their upgrades, their tech, economy, production to the next level. And then, oh, bam, the Zealots hit you when you just don't have any bio out there. Ooh. Colossus can shred those Marines so quickly, dude. The Immortals can shred the Marauders as well. So you really don't want to be out here. Percival just hanging out in a very dangerous territory, and he should have pulled back much faster. Now he tries to punish down there, but oh, Percival stepping in to the maws of the Protoss, and Zest snaps that big fiery dragon's mouth shut. A whole lot of bio going down so far in this game. You can see in the units lost tab, Zest is the master of defending with 2 prongs like this. Now, some of his games recently, we've actually seen him mess up, and his more exposed 3rd and 4th location, he only leaves 1 Colossus. But this time you can see his more secure natural area, which is backed up by cannons production. He's leaving 1 Colossus there. So he's realizing this army up here is a little more exposed. And I'd love to see him drop a battery there as well on that 4th base, because that's sometimes where things get a little bit harder than they need to. That being said, 2-2, enhanced shockwaves, ship weapons, Viking production. Percival's going to a proper kind of mid to late game army. Give him, you know, he's already on 6 Vikings as well. So he's going to be at 8 by the time the next big frontal fight happens. Good snipe on a medevac there. He tries to punish, gets 2 Stalkers. but does lose a fair bit of bio. Picks off a few of those zealots on the way back. I love the Widow Mines, the staggered Widow Mines, and notice he targets the Stalkers. Very well done. Unfortunately, Zest blinks forward though, gets 2 of his medevacs anyway. And that's going to cause you a bit of problems, dude. Ooh. Hallucinated Phoenix knows you there, buddy. Where's the observers now, guys? Has he killed any of these observers? There's 5 observers out on the map, so it's kind of surprising that any of these Widow Mines are being left alive, but grabs this one with these guys, comes on over there, and 13 Marauders, 15 Marines, 3 Ghosts. When those 2-2 upgrades finish, it feels like Percival's going to look for an engagement, but once again, we're going to look at the units lost tab and just say, look how efficient Zest has been. Zest has a 4th. Now, you might argue he doesn't have a big economy. I would argue with Zest's style at this point, I will never shout at Zest for not probing up a 4th ever again, because against this style of Terran, the Terran really doesn't have a quick 4th base. They don't have a lot of barracks. He's still only on 5 racks right now. He doesn't have 6, 7, 8 racks. His army's not bad, but as Zest, as long as you have a big enough army to deal with this, you're good. You know, he's got the double robo building immortals. He just warped in 10 Dark Templar. His zealots do get caught, and a couple of those zealots go down, but most of them get out of there. This army is in big trouble right now. Percival. Ooh, he scans and sees a lot of DTs in that army and trying to kind of snake their way across the map. Percival trying to micro 2 fronts right now. He's going to try and pull this army down to the left. He's got to stim it away. He's trying to engage. If he can fight the non-Colossus units, he'll be happy. But look at that. The DTs are like, go fuck yourself. They're probably going to go after those units. Comes in, gets a few pylons. Zest kind of wants to fight now. Percival's done a pretty good job of delaying this engagement. Oh, clears up the Widow Mines. EMP clips some of the Stalkers. Watch out for the DT blink, though. Watch out for the DT blink. I don't think there's enough Terran here. Yeah, this is a bad fight for Percival. He's fighting with only a small section of his army, and those were the first Widow Mines that were actually able to fire. Now he brings back these other units. Oh, but he gets blunked on. The DTs say, how about a tall glass is psych the fuck up, mate? And I don't know, dude. There's just no Marauder line left. There's 5 Immortals in there. Even if you had a line of Marauders, what are they going to do versus that? The Colossus is still a problem against the Marines. Finally, the Colossus are gone. But this was just so expertly handled by Zest, and it's always, he lets the Terrans bleed into him. The Terran feels they need to be aggressive, and once they've thrown enough units away, he just goes and crushes their army. GG, well played. Oh, right, all right, all right. Let's get straight on into map number 2. He's a favorite for a reason, and he's actually sending a very first probe across the map. This is Zest. Now, for anyone else, sending your first probe across the map is to proxy a gateway here or here and to rush your opponent. However, in this scenario, I believe this is a harassment probe. Zest has been doing this a little bit more on Beckett against Terran players recently, and it's his way of dealing with the Terran that he thinks wants to rush him. Now, the trick with this probe timing gets here so early that it delays that barracks simply by hanging out. And if he actually moved through the barracks location, as like attacked the SCV, then moved, he could have blocked it even more there. And every second you delay that makes you safer against Reaper. So when Zest does this very early probe, last time I saw him do it, he went Nexus before Cybercore. And I think he just went for a Twilight, like, was it a 4-gate blinker? I can't remember what his follow-up was, but I do feel like in this scenario, because he feels he's messing up the Terran's build a little bit with this probe and just being annoying, I think he'll feel safe to probably go for that Nexus one more time. That being said, that probe should already be on the way down. So no, he's going to go Cybercore before Nexus this time around. But I don't know if he does this because on Beckett it made sense to slow down the Reaper pressure a bit, to be annoying. On this map, I feel like it's because Percival's a cheeky boy and he just wants to get a full scout off, harass him, make sure there's no craziness happening. He does go Cybercore into Nexus, and Zest is going to go 21-second pylon on the natural, which is the correct way of doing it. A lot of very high-level Protoss players go 20 pylon, and that's because they're noobs. So make sure you don't do that. It's then 22-second gas. So it's the exact same as a normal Nexus before core, except you swap the pylon and the gas supply timings. So normally it's 21-second gas, 22-second pylon. In this case, it's 21-second pylon, 22-second gas. Probably gibberish to anyone who's not a Protoss player, but just a little, the more you know, guys. That's a 3 barracks, Marine, Reactor, quick bunker into the 3 racks. Pretty good build versus the Stargate. Now let's see how Percival plays this, because I would imagine Zest is going to go Oracle. You can see he's already rallied this in. Could just be a Phoenix to scout straight away, but he's been often going Oracle. And if he sees 3 racks, he very regularly will go 2 Oracles, 3 Oracles, 4 Oracles, maybe even 5 Oracles. And combined with like Adept shading on top, he can try to just basically just jump on the first Marines and kill them. So the Marines will try to start a step back and also focus down. The Oracles will be their goal. So the Oracles will want to kind of like come in just after the Adept shade in and do it that way. Now, 1 Oracle already getting chronoed can definitely do some opening damage. There's 2 Adepts here. So they could try to shade in, but with 5 Marines, that's always going to be a dicey one. The Marines run forward. Percival, oh, he takes 2 hits. Ouch. But that would be crazy to let those Adepts finish. These Marines, though, badly rallied by Percival, so he's not able to quickly unload to punish. So Percival here, blundering his micro a little bit, he lets Zest get away with this. This is a very greedy move from Zest, but he manages to get a Marine and an SCV, I believe. Oh, no, he didn't get an SCV, but a bit of mining time and a Marine. Hasn't lost an Adept yet, and most importantly, this is keeping Percival busy. It's making him raise his depots, which is slowing down SCVs that are trying to rally down. And it distracts him, so the Oracle hopefully finds an undefended main. Now, there are actually Marines there. He goes for the damaged Adepts on the natural. Ooh, a little bit of miss micro from Zest engaging the Marines, but 3 SCVs and an extra Marine kill. That is definitely a winner-winner chicken dinner. Second Oracle on the way, 3rd Oracle as well. Straight to 3 gates before the 3rd Nexus. So he's going to delay his tech, his upgrades in a big way. It's all going to be about lots of Oracles, lots of lasers, lots of Adepts. But he does still try to get that 420 3rd base. Ambitious. Oh, he's already building a lot of Marauders, is Percival. And with more Oracles coming in, this is a nightmare. Yeah, I think this is just already a win for Zest. I think in this scenario, yeah, he even gets to kill a few Marines on their own and then go for more SCVs in the main. And it becomes even more and more. As long as I survive at home, I win this game. Percival is dead in the water. This looks like one of my TVPs versus Zest. No, not really. I would have died to the first 2 Adepts, let's be real. Percival's a very good player, guys, but he's desperate. So the Oracle goes in a little early there. Battery overcharge is a good ability. But, oh, you gotta focus the shield battery if you're gonna stand and fight there, Percival. His Marauders also needed to be in front of his Marines, so he's in the wrong formation right now. He should have control-clicked the Marines, pulled them behind the Marauders, and kind of shoved those into the probes and the Adepts. And if he still had an extra few Marines behind this, while these Marauders are in red hit points, it would be a bit more powerful. As it is, though, that's a cleanup there for Zest. The Void Ray, I think, a really clever adjustment here when he realized that army was coming across the map. Oh my god. Whee! Yeah, 42 workers, 3 bases up against, what has he got? 8 Marines, 2 Marauders. Factory is exceptionally late. Doesn't even have a +1 upgrade on his bio. So Percival, yeah, this is not a good position to be in for him. There are still 2 Oracles and a Void Ray on the map as well. Another SCV goes down there. Meanwhile, Forge, Twilight, and Robo all going down for Zest. So he's going to add that tech, work his way to the next level, and as long as that kicks in before a next big squad of bio gets across the map, he'll be happy. Let's not balance wine, guys. I mean, I know a lot of you have been watching tournaments, and a lot of you make the mistake of reading big tournament channels. And sometimes I glance at them, and then I go, yeah, there's a reason I don't do this. It's just, you know, to belittle the skill of the players by constantly blaming everything on balance and being whiny little bitches, it ruins the experience for me and everyone else who looks at the chat. We want to just watch the games and appreciate the skill of these players. Are there sometimes issues with balance? Are some things easier than others? Yes. But complaining about it all day, honestly, it's just fucking sour as shit. So please don't be a bunch of sour apples, and remember our ongoing rule that has never changed: no balance whining in the chat. People often say, but we're just joking. And I go, yeah. Is it a joke though? He's gonna stim in. Gets a good angle, but he'll get cleaned up. He will get cleaned up. It is a joke. It's just a... Maybe I'll add a new rule. Don't make shit jokes. Because if it's, oh, look at the balance, ha ha ha. It's kind of like saying alrighty then, as if you just watched Ace Ventura for the first time in 2021, 30 years after it came out, and you find repeating Jim Carrey's lines, which are only funny because of his inflection and weird zaniness, and you think that repeating that over and over again is somehow funny. It's not! It's not. So that's me rant. Stop making balance whining jokes. Because let's be real, most of you are just legit balance whining. You're not even joking. Zest is a fucking god, man. Zest is so good. No one can do this, guys. No one can do this. Percival does come in one more time. You know what, guys? I was calling this as over. Where the fuck is charge? I mean, Blink's about to kick in. He doesn't have it just yet. Oh, you gotta be careful though, because if he... No, the problem is he's gonna get Blunk on. Percival's overcommitting, yeah. Oh, you had Blink ready. He could have got one of those medevacs, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is actually impressive trading from Percival from a terrible position he was in earlier. He's actually gonna keep trying to make this work, guys. I may have called this as over when it's not. Ooh. Oh, the title needs to be updated. Thanks for the update on that, chat. No worries. I'm sure someone will complain about that later. Say it's false advertising. That's okay. People who open the stream and then read the name will be able to figure it out, but I'll fix it as soon as this game is over. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the love. I'll stop being a salty cock. I actually do appreciate you letting me know, mate. Yeah, we've been kind of series hopping after Kiwagumio finished, so this is the first one we've actually got to cast from the start. But we haven't had a chance to have a break at all because we are always trying to find you guys the game. So I haven't really had a chance to tab out. GG's, Oracles. Gonna do a good little bit of damage, but oh my god, was that Widow Mines? Oh, we just got 9 probes on the 3rd. I would have liked him to actually change that to the probes. I think 3 probes are a bit more valuable in a Stalker, but either way, that's good trades there. And Percival's gonna Doom drop the main cannon, battery, and a section of Stalkers is already there though. Good pullback by Percy. Oracle's on the right side, just waiting in the dead space. This is a Colossus though. Yeah, you can't fight this army. Ooh. You also can't really hover in the dead space as Percy in this game because the Void Ray can always go over there and hunt your medevacs down. Oh, he's got to stim and get out of there. Once again, Zest doing such a good job of shaving these units off, and I've got to say, I think Percival is overcommitting a little bit to the aggression. Remember what we talked about? What's Zest's style? It's bleed into me, and then I'm going to come fuck you up. Well, he seems to have decided right now is the time to fuck his opponent up. And I don't think there's enough Terran to hang on. Yeah, it's a great fight for Zest. He's going to clean it all up, and Percy does have to tap out. GG, well played. Zest is a god.